Hello everybody, this is Stumpy with Stumpy Outdoors. I was down here cleaning all my fishing equipment up. We just got back from the beach. Hope you're watching my videos, catching the big drum, caught some wahoo. Caught a few stingrays. Didn't really want to catch them, but caught them when things were kind of slow, so it woke me up a little bit. I wanted to go over some of my fishing equipment with you. Do a little review on the equipment that I use. From a small fishing, and usually I try to catch my bait fish. What I'm going to use for bait with this little outfit right here. This is a little Fluger President reel, fairly small reel. It is I'm not sure what size it is, but I'm using it on a Bass Pro Shops Extreme 7-foot rod. It makes a real good flounder rod, and again, it's good to catch your small fish. Pretty sensitive. That way we catch some bait to fish for the bigger fish. Now for one of my two main rods, this here is a Tica. It is a 10-foot. It's rated at 2 to 6 ounces. I've thrown up to 8 ounces with it. It throws 6 ounces really well. The reel that I'm using on it is a Spinfisher 5, a 6500, and I chose the one with a bait runner option. I really like that because I do a lot of surf fishing. You flip this right here back, that's your bait runner. You set your tension here for that. Fish hits it, spool turns very easy. Don't have to worry about getting your rod yanked out of your rod holder or jerked down into the water. As soon as you wind, it clicks forward. I'll do that again. When you wind, it clicks forward. Now it engages the regular drag, which is adjusted on the front, so you're ready to fight your fish. This has been a very, very good reel. I've used it for 2 seasons now. Hadn't had any problem at all out of it. We actually went out the boat we fished on and caught the drum. They were using almost the very same model as this. I think they were using Spinfisher 5s. Also, they just didn't have a bait runner on it. For my what I call a heaver rod, where I can actually get a bunch of weight out there if I need to when the water's really rough, or when I really want to throw it a long ways, I use this right here. This is a Penn 525 mag. I don't think they make them anymore. Somebody told me. I'm not 100% sure of that, but this is a bait casting reel for fishing at the ocean. It doesn't have a level wind, so you do have to work the line with your thumb as you're reeling it in. It has a mag force adjustment, but this reel is probably one of the best reels I have ever owned. And I can take a 6 ounce weight with bait, and I can really sling it a long ways. Now I've got it on a Tsunami 12-foot rod, and this rod is rated for 6 to 10 ounces of throwing. I have thrown 12 ounces on it before when it was really rough, but this rod will throw 8 ounces really well. Those 6 ounces, probably the best is throwing 6 ounces. I've used this rod quite a bit, and my spinning reel that has the bait runner, I'll tell you why it comes in so handy. This reel right here, things were slow. I threw it out. I had it staked out, was trying to pick up a nice drum. It's got a star drag right here. I forgot to loosen my drag. I stuck it in my rod holder, and I had my rod holder buried at least 2 feet in the sand. So it was securely in the sand. Well, all of a sudden I looked over and my rod was on the beach, headed for the water, and I had to run and dive to grab it right as it was going in the water. My reel didn't make it. Tip of my rod was right in the edge of the water. Fortunately, my reel didn't get wet, because in that salt water it probably would have been done till I could get home and take it apart. But turned out it was nothing more than about a 30-pound stingray. If I'd had my drag set right, I'd have seen my rod bow over. He could have ran, I could have went over, caught my fish. With this type reel, you got to remember when you're surf fishing, loosen that drag so if a fish hits it, you don't lose your rod. Well, that's the gist of my equipment that I use for saltwater fishing. I have a few other small reels that I use. I've got there's an old Penn 9, awesome reel. used to do a lot of pier fishing with my parents. This reel here is probably, I'd say this reel's 50 years old. My dad always taught me to take care of my equipment. It'll last you a long time. That reel still works as good as it did the day we bought it. Another reel that I use some is I have an old Ambassador 6000. Now, this reel here was bought probably in the 1960s. It was bought over at Salem Lake from a man named Quincy Stoker. He used to work over there at Salem Lake here in Winston-Salem, and he made my dad a good deal on these reels. Now, I have changed the handle. That's not the actual handle that came on it. I like a double handle. But I tell you, Ambassador, they still make a really good reel. But this is one of the original. I call it one of the original bait casters. When bass fishermen really got into the bait casters, right here was a big name reel back in the day. Well, that's sort of an overview of what I use. Overall, I think the reels that I have here are all high quality reels, especially this spin fisher pin here. I've caught quite a few fish on it. I've got one smaller size. I actually have a 4500, and on a 8-foot Tica rod, I hung a stingray this year that the wingspan was probably about 4 feet across, and I actually landed that fish using a smaller reel than this, using 30-pound test braid, and I got that stingray all the way up on the beach and got my hook back. Now that was the biggest stingray I've ever caught, and it wasn't even on one of my bigger rods. It took me about 20-30 minutes to get him in, but it was actually a pretty fun fight, even it was a stingray. Well, this is Stumpy with Stumpy Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you later.